guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In fact, I'm new here. This is my new channel. Who'd have thought? Anyway, I thought I would bring you for my very first video on this channel the Booktube Newbie Tag. So the very first question is, why did you start this channel? And it's a great question because I've been on YouTube for like 10 years in lots of different guises, and I've actually always just reinvented myself on my own channel, but that's really dedicated to crafting, art, planning, and I don't want to change it. And it's very much a top-down video, and you can see my hands, but I thought this time I would be face-to-face because it's Booktube, and nobody does Booktube with just looking at the books. That seems really odd, right? Anyway, so I started it so that I could have a dedicated space to share my thoughts and feelings on books. So question number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I mean, this is the reason for my channel name. So I am calling this channel Clueless About Books. It follows in the footsteps of Clueless About Art, because I am clueless about a lot of things, and I think as I'm getting older my brain seems to be getting smaller. Is that possible? I don't know why, but I'm really struggling with like great retaining information, and my words, I can never get my words out. It's really bad. Anyway, so I thought some of the fun and unique things would be to not have such a again, I'm forgetting my words, academic tone to how I review books. It's very much a what I like, why I like it, in very simple terms. I'm not going to use big old words to describe things. And, you know, I may even just do a one-word review saying it was good. That's not one word, I realise that. But do you see what I mean? Like a very short review. But it's more about creating a community. And that's what I want. I want to create a space where people can talk to me about books, where I can talk about books and that sort of thing. It's creating that, not echo chamber, because it's not. It's creating that community of people who feel the same way about reading. So they really enjoy it. They don't have to have that. They don't have to be smart. And I mean, we'll get further into these questions, and you'll think, why are you saying that? But do you see what I mean? I just feel like it's just for enjoyment purposes only. And I think there's a bit of a hierarchy when it comes to Booktube. There seems to be people who are very clever on Booktube. I'm not. Didn't even go to uni. Get that one. Anyway, question number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Just building the community, really. Building that space that of people that like doing the same as me. Number 4, why do you love reading? So I've been reading for a really long time. I'm 42 now, and I love books for escapism. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to just escape this dreary world? But also, right, the smell of books. Oh, love it. I'm not always reading a physical book, but that smell of a bookshop is, you can't. I wish I did perfume bookshop. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'm really sorry if this video seems really disjointed, but I have my children running around, and so I have to keep pausing. It's very frustrating. Anyway, number 5, what book or series got you into reading? Okay, this is a really good question. So I started reading when I was young, and I got into like books that were, you know, for children, middle grade stuff actually. The first series that I read was a series called Scrambled Legs. I think they call it something else now. And it was about 4 little ballerinas around the age of 12, 13. And I used to do ballet, and I just loved it. It was like this little group of girls. I think it was American. I believe it was American. But I used to go to a bookshop in Hitchin, And every time we were in Hitchin, we used to go to this bookshop, little tiny bookshop, and it was so cute and it smelt so good. And I was allowed to pick one book, and so I picked up this series, and I think there was 8 books in the series, and I loved it. I used to just consume those books just so quickly, and it was definitely, you know, it led me on to other things. I think it's almost like rom-com without the rom, but it wasn't really com either, but it had that sort of feeling, you know, really easy reading, very relatable, and that's why I liked them. So that got me into reading. I did then read, weirdly, I read Bridget Jones's Diary, and that got me into that genre. So it said, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? Oh, question 6, that's hard. Have you ever gone from one genre favourite to another? Has Booktube led you into a new genre? Because I think that's something I'd be interested in. So I really have, it's not my favourite genre, but I think I have a safe genre. There's genres that I just wouldn't touch. So yeah, there's genres that I am comfortable with and I feel safe. And if I'm in a slump, I would read that genre and I could easily just read other things. But there's just genres I just wouldn't touch with a barge pole. So it says, number 7, what challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Getting used to this. It's been a long time since I've been in front of a camera. Being able to express how I feel about books in a way that is engaging, and choosing books that I think people would like to read. I'm hoping there are people like me that don't necessarily go down the route of like really big books, and you know, and even books that are coming out all the time, like just even reading older books maybe, and stuff around our era and nostalgic books and stuff like that. I think it would be good to have, I think it would be challenging to find that niche. It'd be challenging to find my people, but once I do, I think that's going to be a massive advantage. So I think that's going to be hard to overcome, but I think it's going to be great. It'd be really good. Sorry, my hay fever is really playing up now. 8, when did you start reading? Okay, nobody believes me when I tell them, but I was 2. And when I say I was reading at 2, I was reading sentences like The Cat on the Mat, or You Sit on a Chair, like small words in little sentences, because I had this like reading thing. It was just a bit of cardboard that you stuck words in. And my mum used to be very proud of the fact that I was reading it too. She probably thought I was going to be highly intellectual, and I proved her wrong. Boy, did I prove her wrong. Number 9, where do you read? Okay, if you'd have asked me this when I was about 10 years old, I would have said the toilet. Our books were situated in the toilet. I don't know why that's gross now, thinking about it. I don't do it now. But you know, when you just think, there was always books in our loo. Specifically, there was a lot of true crime. And I was 10. And there was horrific serial killer true crime novels, not novels, books that my mum used to leave them in the loo. They were always there. Where I read now is, so there's 2 places, because I listen to Audible, but I also read physical books. I'll read in bed or on the train. It's places where I can't really do anything else. Like on the train, the signal for your phone is terrible. So you just need something that you can just concentrate on. I hate being on a train, but it's the perfect time to read. And it's a good 2.5 hour journey. So I know I can get a really good chunk of a book done. I can literally do a book in like one day. If it's 300 pages easily. So I do like train journeys. On holiday, I read now and again, dependent. Like if we've got like a very non-busy day, I'll sit and read. So yeah, that's where I read. However, I listen to books, and I find it much better listening to books when I'm on my walks with the dog, or because you can do like little chunks easily, or if I'm off to the gym. I don't do that much anymore, but I used to. But I definitely find like if because music is so, you get 3.5 minutes, that's your song. So you sort of already know how long you've been on something. But when you're listening to a book and a chapter could be 20 minutes long or it could be 7 minutes long, you don't know how long you've been on the treadmill. So I do find that a bit easier. I find that much more enjoyable to get into the book, and I lose myself in audiobooks so quickly that I can do exercise. Brilliant. Have you ever tried it? I just had to change scene very quickly for the last one. What kind of books do you like to read? So, my favourite genre, okay, I really find rom-com my safe genre. I like them to be sort of similar. The tropes, which is a word that I've learned, I like to have enemies to lovers. I quite like that trope. Don't like second chance romance. I like sort of unexpected twist in a romance novel. I actually really like it to be closed door. I don't know why. I just find it really awkward reading sex scenes. Smutty ones, I just find it awkward. It's like I feel a bit awkward when people strip. So all of that, I'm just like, no, I can use my imagination. And yeah, so that's bad, isn't it? I feel like that's really, is it bad? I don't know. I'm not prudish in any way, but I don't know. I feel really awkward. It's the same with TV, right? It's like when you sit and watch somebody having sex on telly and your mum's in the room. Do you know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. That's how awkward I feel. Maybe I need to get past that. Maybe I need some recommendations to get past that. Anyway, so that's the sort of books I would find my safe bet. However, I like stories. I like anything that tells a good story. It doesn't matter where it is. Some of my favourite books, like Life of Pi was a really good book to read when I read it. And I found it really fascinating. And that's not a romance at all. It was a story and I enjoyed that. What else have I read that would be sort of out of my comfort zone? Or potentially. I've read thrillers. And I've definitely read mystery and murder mystery, and I love cozy stories, cozy anything actually. Cozy is probably the genre that it's not really a genre, is it? Because you can have cozy everything, apart from the only thing I will not read is horror. Hate it, won't watch it, don't want anything to scare me. And again, I guess that's just maybe if somebody's got like an introduction to horror, psychological ones are probably even worse than anything. But if anybody's got like an introduction to horror, that'd be great. So that's it. That's my video. Thanks so much for joining me for my first ever Booktube video. I hope it wasn't too weird. It might be. It might not be. But thanks so much. And yeah, how do I finish videos again? I've been doing this for 10 years. Can you believe it? If you've enjoyed this video, I'll get there. Give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, then please do, because that would really make my day. And comment down below if you've got anything to recommend, or if you want to take part in this newbie booktuber. No, come on, Leah. Booktube Newbie Tag. There you go. Because that would really make my day as well if you did that. So I will go and watch your video as well if you did do that. And that's it. That's the end of this. That's the end of the video. Oh God, I can see this being an interesting channel. Right, see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.